Welcome back to Market of the Moment. I'm Sharon Terhune, the Vice President and Sales Manager for Fidelity National Title, and I'm here with Mr. Don Tchaikovsky, our Director of Channel Sales at Fidelity National Title, and we have been with you for weeks now talking about
our favorite books.
Our favorite books.
Yes.
I love it. I mean, if you're taking a vacation, you got a little airplane ride, what better but to work on your business by working on yourself? Right?
Yeah, absolutely.
And that's probably the most important thing you could be doing.
For sure.
And you got a little downtime, so, why not read a great book that you can come back and kill it in your business, right? When you get back.
Yeah, 100%.
So what are we doing today, Don?
Okay, well, I'm sharing with one of my favorites, and you're going to share one of yours as well,
okay.
with the 7 Levels of Communication by Michael Maher. And so this book's been around for a while, and really what I like is, this is one of those books that I think when somebody's getting started in the real estate business, that it is important to take a look at this just because it deals with so many fundamentals of the business. It's written really like a story. It's not written as a go do this, 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 and this. Yeah. It's more like a novel kind of a book, but it is really about the processes of building business through networking. And
which
so
we all are doing every single day, right?
And so there's a gazillion ways out there to go and spend money, and there's a lot of people that will help you spend a lot of your money to build a real estate business.
Yeah.
But this is doing organic things and building relationships within your network, your existing network, and expanding that network, and then putting all that together into a plan to grow your business.
Yeah.
So I love it. It's a great read. I've done multiple book clubs on this in the past.
Yeah.
It's one of my favorite books.
There's so many great trainings that get done all over.
Yeah, and Michael's speaking all over the place. Great videos on YouTube.
We've seen him
to
in
check
person
out.
talk about it too.
Yeah.
If you're lucky enough to get to see him.
Yeah, absolutely. So such a great book. And so if you're looking to grow your business, if you're looking to get
7
back,
levels right there.
if you're looking to get back to the roots and the basics of how to develop that network, these are the things that don't cost you money. I mean, maybe going to lunch here and there. So
well, and the 7 levels, Don. Let's talk about them for 1 minute. The bottom of your pyramid.
Yeah.
Is advertisement, right? I mean, I don't have my readers.
I don't have mine either.
Okay,
so yeah.
We got direct mail.
Yep.
We got electronic communication, handwritten notes, phone calls, events and seminars.
Yep.
And that one's going to take me a moment.
Yeah. Well, that's what. I have to get my glasses out to read that.
Let me see.
Or longer arms.
One-on-one meetings.
One-on-one meetings.
Yeah.
Sorry, guys.
Yeah.
Can't read that little top of the pyramid very well.
Yeah.
But no, it's a legend, really.
It's such a great book, and and what I like is the housewarming parties and the networking and all of those things that he talks about in there.
Yeah.
And I love the story. That there's the guy who's on all the billboards and all the on all the bus stations and all that stuff, who's giving him a hard time about growing his business, and so it's just like really a phenomenal book. If you haven't read it, strongly recommend checking it out and look at integrating some of that into your business.
Well, and it's funny because it's, a lot of it is what we all should be doing every single day, but we sometimes think, oh, this is so basic. Well, guess what? Basic works, and it's really getting back to basics. I mean, handwritten notes. I mean, it's sort of a lost love. It's kind of gone. And communication is the maker or breaker of every single relationship, whether you're in your personal life or in business. So good communication or their lack of. So. Being very communicative in business is so important.
Absolutely.
Don, we have a book alert. Oh my gosh, we have a special guest.
Oh my gosh, well, let's check in and see what this book recommendation is.
Love it.
Hey, there is Ty Luss. We are talking book clubs, and man, I love to read. I'm usually doing 25 to 30 books a year. One of the ones that's been a big impact this year so far is called Die with Zero. Now, this book essentially is about making sure that we don't overwork in our life just to leave money behind to kids who may or may not deserve it. Just joking. It's also about going out and experiencing life. And hey, maybe that inheritance is better in their 20s or 30s where they can put a down payment on the house versus waiting till, we're 80 and and they're 60. I mean, that money for inheritance to the kids may come in more helpful earlier in their life than later in life. But most importantly, we have a window of time where we're physically and mentally able to go explore and do the fun stuff and live the life. And by waiting too late in life, there may not be as much time as we would like to be able to enjoy those things we work so hard for. Point being that it isn't always necessary to work just to pile up a stack of cash that you may never be able to spend. So live life. Go out with guns a-blazing and make sure that you are living a big life along the way and not just all work and no play. So Die with Zero, impactful. We're spending money, investing money in memories more so as we get older in life. So start earlier and make a difference.
Wow, thank you so much for the recommendation. That's exciting. We'll be checking that one out, and I'm sure it's going to make it in future episodes of Market of the Moment for our feedback on it.
Love it. Okay, Don, well, thank you so much for sharing 7 Levels of Communication, your favorite book.
So what do you have over there?
I do want to be just like you, like we talked about a couple hours ago. However, I like being me too. So let's talk about one of the books I'm recommending. This book was... years ago, one of our first boot camp books that we read. And it's really stuck with me because it's such a good book. It's called Scrappy, and it is by Terri Sjodin. And I love this book because it's exactly what it's telling you. You know, get scrappy. I think we overanalyze everything so much in our business that sometimes we don't move forward with things. Right. Okay. One of my favorite examples in this book is if you've ever heard of Rainforest Cafe, and how Rainforest Cafe was actually, Rainforest Cafe, how it was initially came about. Okay, it was actually created in someone's garage. Okay, so they had a concept and a thought for a restaurant with, plants and animals and, anatomics. I can't say that. Whatever that word is. Anatomics. Whatever.
You got it. No, you got it.
Animals all over the place. And so what they did is they put a prototype together of what the restaurant would look like in their garage, and they had a restaurant investor come over and see their concept. Okay. Yeah. That's probably one of the best examples of getting scrappy. Taking, an idea that you have or a problem or anything and turning it into something extraordinary. Yeah, and I think that's what Scrappy is.
And when we read this book, I remember our conversations about, what are the things that we're doing in business to be scrappy? What are the things that we do? And it's interesting because there's so many people out there, who, and like we talked with 7 levels of getting back to basics, but really that's what, that is the scrappy behavior, right? Mm-hmm. That is the things that to get out there and to really look to grow your business. And and investing your time and investing your energies and investing these thoughts that you have and going out there and putting the things into practice, and it's hard, right? A lot of times
absolutely.
It's hard, and it's time consuming, and it takes us away from the other things that we'd like to be doing. We don't get to golf as much. We don't get to go and have as much family time when we're being scrappy. But those give us those luxuries later, right? Mm-hmm. So when we're able to build that through.
Well, and if we reflect on all the partners we work with, they're all scrappy. They're out making their niche and finding their place no matter what the market is. And when we ask, how's the market doing for you? It's terrible, because it's not. It's actually a great time to buy real estate right now, because I heard something the other day and I loved it, and it's such a great answer. Everyone gets tied up in interest rates and all this good stuff. Well, guess what? When the rates drop, there's really going to be 0 houses available. So right now you have the top pick of what you want. Even though inventory is not as high as it was a year ago, you still have top pick of the houses you want. Okay, you can always refinance later, but guess what? The second those rates drop, what inventory is going to start getting eaten up. There's really going to be nothing available.
Right.
So now you get to choose.
Well, and
I love that answer.
And I was in a conversation with somebody recently about that whole educational part of the business, right? Of taking the time to educate, and that's being scrappy again, right? Like when you talk to a buyer who says, "Well, I want to wait till rates come down." Yeah. Well, you're not going to have as many choices when the rates come down.
Absolutely.
And that price you pay for the house,
somewhere.
right? Yeah, you have to give one or the other.
Give or take.
And so taking the time to educate people through the processes and the the opportunities and the things that they're able to do in that's getting scrappy.
Love it.
And this is such a great book in illustrating those opportunities.
Yeah. So pick up Scrappy.
All right. Excellent. Okay. So why don't we, speaking of being scrappy, I think Mindy's pretty scrappy out there. And so let's check in with Market Master Mindy, and I actually think her team is reading 7 Levels of Communication right now.
Well, there you
so let's check in with her and see what she's got going on out there in the market.
The market continues to gain its footing, representing a bit of a standstill in the war over interest rates and rising prices. With Maricopa and Chandler continuing their journey into strong sellers territory with record low inventory, buyers may have a bit less competition in Glendale, Tempe, and Cave Creek, where demand has fallen after recent interest rate hikes. In spite of a rapid decline in buyer demand, prices have continued to increase, recording another 2% increase in sales prices in just the last month alone. In fact, taking a look back year over year, we're just 4% from our summer 2022 peak in pricing, meaning that while last year's prices were falling fast, 2023 has made up for them, and we expect to surpass them by the end of the quarter. The biggest barrier to making a move right now seems to be interest rates and inventory on the surface, but most people are looking for ways to leverage their equity, and most people do not want to wait until prices increase. With supply weaker than demand, prices are increasing in spite of our instinct that interest rates should be suppressing them, making monthly payments higher each month of 2023. While we know that you can refinance a loan for a lower rate at some point, we also know that we cannot turn back time on your purchase, making the increase in prices that is expected this year of greater concern than timing the fall in interest rates. If you're a bit like me, you might be looking to right-size your payments or even adjust for life changes you've had over the last couple of years. And an unknown increase in housing prices is limiting your ability to plan for the future. The good news is that there are options for securing a below market interest rate today. Buyers still have some negotiation room depending on the market and property, and new construction is still accessible, something that I think will likely change with a drop in interest rates. In fact, when you look at it that way, it's possible that there's actually more opportunity in the current market than we'll ever see when the interest rates drop.
Okay, Miss Market Master Mindy, thank you for that update as always. Love hearing your updates every single week, so appreciate you being here with us and giving us such great insight. Dawn, we have a book alert. Oh my gosh, we have a special guest.
Oh my gosh, well, let's check in and see what this book recommendation is.
Love it.
Wouldn't you like to know exactly what to say when you're talking with your prospects? Hey, it's Dave Z with the Dave Z Home Team eXp Realty, and I want to recommend this book to you. This is Exactly What to Say by Phil Jones, The Magic Words of Influence for Impact. Super short read. If you can't see, it's a little book. And there are just some amazing little phrases in here that are going to help you do a resistance or a rejection-free approach to selling. So we've had great success, and this is my 19th year selling real estate. I've helped about a little over 300 people in the last 3 years. So I help about 100 people a year. And just got off of a buyer consult booking. So was looking through my database at some internet leads, and the way I got that appointment is first building some value. There's some things in here. So the last time this person had done real estate was 2009. It's been a while. So taking cues out of this book, I asked her, what do you know about the real estate market today versus 2009? And when you ask that question, what do you know? Human beings really slow down because to know something, there's some certainty there. I didn't say, what do you think? What are your expectations? What do you know? That led into, I'm not really sure what's going on. I thought prices are going to come down. And, or I have a seller, what do you know about real estate commissions? Good question. I think they're too high. I think you guys charge too much, but I don't really know all about them. Great. Let me break that down for you. Here's what my broker gets. Here's what I pay. Here's what my staff gets. Here's what my costs are. Right. But so try using that phrase. What do you know? And then a really good rapport builder is, hey, I bet you're a bit like me and you don't like to overspend, or you don't like to pay for something that's not worth it. But using that phrase, I bet you're a bit like me. And would it be helpful? So on my buyer consult that I just booked, it was, what do you know about the real estate market? That exposed some uncertainties. And then I said, well, what we've done with other people who are on the real estate journey, just like you, just getting started, we either get together on Zoom or we get together in person. and let's clarify what is going on in the market. Let's identify what it is you're looking to buy, and then let's get you really prepared. So if and when that home comes, you're ready. Would that be helpful? Pause, let them answer. Most people are going to say, yeah, you know what, that is really helpful. Compare that to, hey, I would love to get together and talk to you about the market. I'd love to get together and give you a buyer presentation. So grab this book, read it. I reread it just to remind myself of some of these phrases, but there's super big print. It's super easy to read, and just start implementing some of those key words for influence and see what that does for your business. I hope this was helpful. I hope you read some good books. Take care.
Wow, thank you so much for the recommendation. That's exciting. We'll be checking that one out, and I'm sure it's going to make it in future episodes of Market of the Moment for our feedback on it.
Love it. Dawn, let's find out what's going on in Amber Kovarik's world with Guild Mortgage and see what's on her plate.
I have been an avid reader for about the last decade. I even run a top producer real estate book club every month, and it has changed my life so much. There's many times I catch myself saying, oh, I learned this in a book, or oh, I learned this in a book, and it's really transformed how I live my life. And so I want you to also have this experience. So read 10 pages a day. Some of my favorite books for you to pick up. One of them, Atomic Habits. Another one that's so relevant to right now is called The Gap and the Gain. And another great one is Pound the Stone. So pick one, read 10 pages a day, build it into your routine, and see how it changes your life. As always, my team will be available for all of your weekend pre-qualification needs. Thanks.
Amber, thank you so much. We appreciate you being here each week. And gosh, that's a wrap for this week, I think, huh?
Gosh, it goes so fast.
It does, every time.
So fast. So again, just to circle it around, 7 levels of communication.
And Scrappy. So so check them out, and please tell us what your favorite books are. What are you reading this summer? What are the things that are helping you grow in your business? We'd love to hear from you.
We'd love to hear your recommendations. Ciao.